Hi everyone, I'm Stephen Learson, and welcome to another edition of Synthesizer Show Tell. Each week, I challenge myself to write a piece of music using only one synth from my collection and share some tips and tricks on how to use the instrument. Today, I'm showcasing the Roland JX-8P, which is a total tongue twister. This synth's brass sounds can be heard on epic 80s hits such as Europe's The Final Countdown or The Cure's Why Can't I Be You? Okay, so the rundown is the JX-8P is a 6-note polyphonic synth from 1985, and since it has no slider controls on the front, it can be tedious to program unless you have the rare and expensive iPG-800 controller. But if you don't have that and you have an iPad, you can get the iPG-800 app developed by Kentai, and it works pretty well, and you connect it via an iRig. If your iPad has a magnetic cover, it will actually attach real nicely to your synth and it won't slide around. So here's a taste of the track that I made using only sounds from this synth. Most presets on synths suck, but I will say the toms are awesome. Man, you put a little gated reverb on those, you can get some sweet 80s sounding toms at any pitch you want, depending on what key your song is in. Awesome. And if I go down low enough, I can get a really sweet sounding kick drum. And the thing is, because there's velocity sensitivity, I can make the envelope open, and you can make the envelope open with how hard you hit it, and you can get this nice deep kick sound, or you can get a nice clicky kick sound if you want. And I'll just take 2 seconds to play the brass sounds. All right, that's enough of that. Okay, so this synth is great for pads and string sounds and like percussive envelope-y kind of thwacking sounds. But when it comes to leads, it can be metallic and harsh or thin. And especially when you're playing with the synth live, it can be hard to cut through in a solo. All right, so it does have some nice sync lead sounds. Now you can put it in solo mode, which will make it monophonic. And it has its square leads. I just like to talk about bass because I think this synth does some really cool things with bass that are hard to find on other synths. Here's just the synth bass program patch. But I can quickly manipulate it to make something cooler. And you'll find that res really can change the sound very drastically. But if I pull it all the way out, you will find resonance does take out a lot of the low end. Okay, so also great for nice clicky sounds. You can also get some really nice twinkle sound. When you want that ear candy in your track and you just want those twinkly sounds, you can get those poking through, and I'll show you that in the track that I wrote. I put in a lot of twinkles. You can also make some kind of Prince-like 80s sounds, Prince-like stabs. But there's that kind of like metallic high-end sound. I mean, it's cool for what it is, but it is very thin and intense. So if you want something mellower, it also does make some nice warm pads. And here's another one I really like. And you can brighten them right up. It also does have a high-pass filter set to 1, 2, and 3, 0, 1, 2, and 3. And I think it is really great that it's there, because if it's off and you're using these pad kind of sounds, they will be just too bassy. There's also plenty of room for video game kind of sound. Some people compare the JX to a Juno 60 or a Juno 106, but I would say they're not very comparable. They're very different sounds. Even the chorus sounds different on the JX than the Juno. And I toured for years with a Juno 60, and when it got too finicky and I couldn't take it on the road anymore, I brought the JX in replacement, and it just was not the same. Okay, so the chorus, you have, same as the Juno, you have off, 1, and 2, but I will say it does sound different. Here's a patch I made with off, and then on level 1 and 2. So it is nice. It does make the sound more full. I will say it just has different characteristics than the Juno, and maybe it's up to you to decide whether you like it better or not. So I will say that in a live setting, the app is not the best for manipulating sounds on the fly. I think you'll find that if you play a tone and move your finger just a tiny bit, you can drastically change the sound. And when you're in the moment and the lights are flashing and everybody's jumping around on stage, it can be hard to dial in a very specific sound. So there are some tips for using the JX-8P. You can get it real cheap on Craigslist or on eBay for between $200 and $300, which is a great deal, I think, for what you get. And if you have the iPad, even better, the iRig is about $70 to $80. So here's the song that I recorded using only sounds from the JX-8P, and I also did some vocal tracks.
Like yesterday, teacher took the roll call. I heard him say your name. My tongue's I may be obsessed.